Alright, what's going on everybody? So today's video, I'm going to be focusing on one big philosophy that I think a lot of people that I've seen play and a lot of people I've coached don't really use, and that's using the wings to your advantage. This year, a lot of the time that I've seen people play, or at least the people that I've coached in the lower divisions like Division 4, Division 5, they really try to force the ball through the middle. And this year, and just like last year as well, that's just not really the way you should play. When you guys are playing, right? So let's say, uh, for this example, we're on blue, right? And red's defending us. Usually, when you get the ball, right? So when we're further up the pitch, let's say you're playing a traditional 4-4-1-1, right? Let's say everyone's up. Uh, strikers on there, cams around here, right? Everyone's here. Everyone here is really packed right now, right? Even the wide midfielders, they might be like here. And they're all the defenders are just packed, right, into this middle third almost. If you were to split the field into thirds, right? Or I prefer fifths. So you have 1/5, 2/5. Actually, let me do it like this. You have this fifth, excuse the lines, this fifth, the center fifth, and then this fourth fifth and this fifth, right? So when we are attacking, right, and we're thinking about attacking, and we notice, right, that all his defenders are clumped up, right? The biggest thing that we can do is use the wings to spread them out, right? Mainly get the CDMs out of position, because one of the more defensively sound formations is the 4-2-1-3, and that's the one I personally use in comp games, like my foot champs games, right? That's the formation I'm most accustomed to. And a lot of the times I concede is because I catch myself pulling the CDMs out to the wing or out of position in general, right? So the main thing, like let's say you get the ball with your center back, right? Let's say you guys just won the ball back, you're advancing the play. The first thing you should look for is when you're attacking. I mean, the first thing you should look for is see if you can get it to your striker. That's mainly for the first time through balls. I can make a separate video on that if you guys would like me to, but I've talked about it previously, but I haven't done like a whole video about it. Just like with this, this is like the first full video I'm making on this playstyle. If you notice that the, like, let's say you have like a proper possession, right? Like it's not a counter attack, and you win the ball, and his entire back line is in shape, and his CDMs, both his CDMs are back, right? Get the ball to your winger. It doesn't have to be a through ball. It doesn't have to be some crazy techie type of skill move you use to get it to him. Build it around, move the ball around, right? And just get the ball out wide. It doesn't have to be the winger necessarily. You can use your center mid and just dribble out wide as well, right? So what this will do is the AIs will spread out, right? Especially if you can trigger a run from a CDM or your cam, even call them short, whatever, right? Naturally, this will create more gaps for the players to run into, right? So if he's pressing, you can go back, quickly up. Most of the time, the cam would not be here. They'd be like up here probably, or on this side, or just straight up trying to mark you. Find up there, center back's marking, and then all of a sudden now it's a 2v1 in the middle, right? So the key idea with this sort of play style is get the ball out wide to spread open the opponent's defense, right? If you notice you don't have space, get the ball to the wing to create your own, right? So I have some clips here that I can show you guys that are some good examples of it. So right here, this is right at the beginning of one of my foot champs games. I believe I was 5-0 here. So I'll just let the whole thing run through, and then I'll explain to you guys how I'm applying using the wings to get the space, right? Okay, so obviously I'm doing some skill moves here that you guys don't have to do or anything. But if we start right from the beginning of kickoff, right? If you want to talk about your opponent being in the most static, or not necessarily static, the most stacked defensively, kickoff is probably the perfect example. Literally both the CDMs are back, and I have to start from my own half for this build-up, right? So look, I'm already getting it out to my winger, and I'm getting out to my fullback, and I'm already going to draw out my opponent's winger, right? So just really quickly, forgot to pull this up earlier. Just get my little pen here. Okay. So, right, I'm dragging out my opponent's winger so we have more space in the middle to work with, right? So if we watch this play out again, right, look, him driving out with his winger already created this gap right here. And the biggest thing that you guys need to do when you're going to the wing is when you're quickly going back into the middle, trigger players to take the space. There is no point in having the space if no one's going to run into it. You might as well put your controller down and go play something else. I'm not even kidding. If you can't get the players to go into here, there's no point in trying to play this game. I'm not even kidding. Look, so notice right now, you guys can't see it right away because I paused it a little early, but look, triggering Leao, right? Let me go back. You guys can actually see it. So off kickoff, right? I do an L1 X pass. Do that one more time, right? L1 X pass. You guys see it up there, watching my controller? So he runs into the space because I know this guy's going to press with his winger. It's a smart thing to do in a sense, just to try to apply pressure on the ball so I can't just waltz into his half. But I know this, right? So I need someone to occupy the space he's going to leave behind. So I do that one, simple triangle, right? Get into Leao, same thing. Look how wide the CDMs are, right? Look at the CDMs being out of position. Right here and right here. So that inherently will leave this space in here, right? It's not a lot of space, right? Like, I'm not telling you if you guys go to the wing, all of a sudden the opponent's just going to bend over and let you score in his net, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it creates little gaps that you can exploit, which in turn gets you onto these 1v1 situations that are so deadly in this game. As much as I hate the ISO meta, where it's like basically you're just trying to get your opponent into a 1v1, that's the game we're playing. You just have to play it or don't play it, right? So let me just get rid of these really quick. So if we have, right, look, same thing, taking the space, goes back to the tutorial from the last video, right? I'm taking the space down here to drag his defenders towards me, right? We go backwards, right? There's not really much I can do in terms of building up, right? I don't really have any options going forward, so I go backwards. There's no shame in it. Same thing. Go out wide, gives me space, right? Because look, he's dragging his CDM out, which gives me inherently a lot more space to work with. Look how out of position or like not compact all of his players are. Neymar has an ether of space to work with here. These are the gaps that you create when you go out to the wing, because naturally these players will go wide and that leaves space in the middle. The biggest trick with this though, you need to go back to the middle once you go to the wing really quickly. If you take forever to go back to the middle, the opponent has time to reset and get his shape, drag players over, etc. Right? The speed of play that you have here is the big thing. So let me see if I can go like this. All right. So find the gap right here again. Striker's a little behind. We have a little bit more time here. Same thing, right? We're slowly going end to end. We're just going from this side all the way to this side because we're just trying to gauge who he's going to switch to and who he's going to drag out of position because he has to at some point. Otherwise, he's not going to get the ball. Same thing, right? Find Messi on the wing. Go back. No options. No options. Go back to the middle again. Find that split. Little skill move to get open and goal, right? But you guys see how we can use going to the wing to advance ourselves slowly up the pitch by finding the gaps forward. This is by far, in my opinion, if you don't want to play ratty or meta or whatever, this is the best way to play because it will work in any FIFA because you're not just playing FIFA, you're playing football. This is the most football way you can play this game, in my opinion, right now. Right? You can try to play tiki taka, you can try all these things, right? Doesn't really work that way. I don't know where my thing just went, but here we go. We are just stretching them out, right? Look how compact they are right here, right? See how close together they are when I get the ball in the middle? And now look, slowly but surely, the space opens up, right? This AI is going to press right away, and that slowly gives us this pocket here. Could I have been a little bit more aggressive? Yeah, but it's off kickoff. I don't want to waste an opportunity, just give him the ball for no reason. I want to see how badly I can drag them out, right? Same thing. Find this little gap right there. And then this is pretty much what you want, right? I got a 1v1 with my attacker on his center back. Play it again. Commits too late. Messes up the player switch, and we get the goal, right? So that's the first clip. Let me just get the second clip now. Okay, we'll watch this one in full. Okay. This is probably the perfect example, I think, for this. So, same thing, right? If we start from the beginning, I win the ball back, get it to my cam, get it to my striker as soon as possible. This time we get more of the first time through ball type of thing into the winger. So it works out a lot better. But I think the biggest thing I want you guys to notice is look, right? When I get it out to Messi, especially here, I know Marcel is going to catch it. That's just Messi's not lengthy, so he's also wasn't at full speed because I triggered him in the opponent's half, so he didn't have a little bit of my half to start gaining speed. So I know I need to cut back right away. So I cut back, same thing, right? I'm just going to go from the wing here and just work it through the middle. Work it like this, right? Whenever you're attacking, just try to do this type of emotion. Just working it end to end, top to bottom, right? And eventually something will just open. The opponent's going to get frustrated. The AI might mess up, right? Eventually you can trigger a run, etc., right? So as we watch this play unfold again, right? Find the middle, right? Find another pocket again, just working it to the other end. I call Leao short here. I'll play it again. You guys can watch my controller, right? I turn, I face Leao. I tap R1 to call him to me, just to get him more inside. And then I find it, work it one more time, and we get the goal. So the biggest thing with this play style is use the wings to create yourself space to find a way through the middle again. Or if the opponent really wants to give the wing, abuse the wing, right? The first time through balls, same thing. It's very important that you just use the wing. This year, the wing is the easiest way to get more wins and to score more goals on this game. You're literally the most of the time, your winger should be doing most of the goal scoring, especially with the first time through balls. Even though it's ratty, it's 100% the most effective way to score in this game. And I'm going to teach you guys how to get wins first before I go into more like the fundamental football stuff. There's just a little dip into it, right? Especially we got FC27 right around the corner. So that's pretty much it for today. I don't think there's really much else I need to explain. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and that's pretty much it. See you guys in the next one. Peace.